Hi, everybody. Welcome to this NYSI chat. Today with me are my colleagues Quinn, Shah, and Hidayat. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, just to get everyone started, maybe Quinn, you could just share how long you've been in S&C and some highlights in the field of S&C for you.
Hi, Les. Thank you. Yes, I've been doing this for a while now. I think 15 years or more. And I think that quite a few highlights, working with athletes who have medaled at major games, SEA Games and Asia Games as well. So that would probably be the standouts for me.
Thanks, Quinn. And how about you, Shah?
For me, it's Asian Games, Youth Olympics, Commonwealth Games, hopefully Olympic Games sometime down the road. We'll see. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Shah. And how about you, Hidayat?
Yeah, so what's interesting is probably before being an S&C specialist, I was actually a coach for Paralympic sport, that is para powerlifting. So I think like one of the highlights is to actually to have been to two SEA Games for Paralympics and also one Commonwealth Games, and then made the move to football as S&C coach and now to NYSI as S&C specialist.
Great. Thanks for sharing that. So we have this joint consensus statement and it's 23 long pages, Shah. Maybe you can help us understand why we're putting out this statement at this point in time.
Okay, so the statement talks about the planning of an S&C program. What are the considerations that we make in planning an S&C program? So we'll cover who we're talking to and how it's useful for the people, that the audience that we're looking at, right? So just very briefly, some considerations for building an S&C program will be your periodization plan, your current literacy, current movement literacy, exercises that we choose, are the exercise age appropriate, what are the training age, what's the training age of your youth athlete in terms of how long has he or she been training, what are the experiences of these athletes in training, and what are the performance demands.
And who are we talking to with this statement?
Okay, so our target audience are mainly the youth coaches, potentially PE teachers as well, and pretty much parents who are curious as to whether S&C is appropriate for their child, is it safe for their child, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty much a one-stop resource for anyone who is involved in the youth sport ecosystem, who is dealing with a youth athlete, to understand the role of S&C and how it plays into developing youth athletes for performance.
So at this point, Quinn, I'd like to get you involved, and you've been in this industry for 15 years. What do you think are some of the gaps you've noticed that have opened up in the youth ecosystem?
Yes, thanks, Les. I think movement and playing outside is some of the things that have taken a back seat over the past 10, 15 years. And I'm just happy when children do more than just spend large amounts of time in front of the computers or on their handphones. Just ask my kids at home. Any form of play and physical activity is not just beneficial in improving sport, but there's also long-term benefits. And through play, children build a rich base of fundamental movement skills. And this would help with body control, body awareness, and so on. Play also can be seen as a form of resistance training because you're overcoming your own body weight as a resistance when you climb and when you jump and when you run. So these are all essential elements of sport. Yeah. So the topic is of great interest for practitioners out there, and because they want to know when to start, how much is enough. And all these things are covered in this resource.
And I think you've made the point before that better movers make for better sports performance, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So Hidayat, maybe I can come to you now and help us understand what may be some of the misconceptions of S&C that you've observed out there in the ecosystem.
Yeah, so hi. So when we talk about SNC or strength conditioning, it's normally being thought of as resistance training. And when it comes to resistance training, I think there are a few myths that needs to be dispelled, like resistance training stunt an athletes or developing athletes growth, which is not true at all. And I think like furthermore, people or coaches and parents always think that with added SNC, it can actually expose their athletes to injury risk, which is also not true, because when done with proper supervision, SNC can be very safe with the right professionals supervising your athletes or your kids.
Maybe you can also sketch out some of the benefits of SNC for youth athletes. And it's just to expand on the point that Quinn had brought up.
Yeah, so in general, I would think when it comes to SNC, we always want to improve performance output. So we want our athletes to jump higher, to be able to run faster, to be able to lift more weights, and obviously make the athletes into a more robust athlete. But when it comes to youth athletes also, specifically, we want to improve their motor skills, their motor coordination. We want to improve their proprioception ability. And also, I think what's more important is their decision-making skills, which can be absolutely vital when it comes to be able to develop as an athlete and as we go along into high-performing athletes.
Okay, getting back to you, Shah, maybe you can help people understand before they start reading the 23 pages of the statement. What are the broad areas that we cover in that statement?
Okay, so right from the start, we cover some definitions that's commonly used in the S&C realm. After that, we go into explaining a little bit on what resistance training is, what it consists of, how to progress, and then similarly across speed development, agility, metabolic conditioning, as well as plyometrics. So pretty much how to progress safely, as what Hidayat mentioned.
So we have 5 broad areas that we cover off in the statement. Okay, so we have something for every type of coach out there, right, Hidayat? In terms of whether you are a C division team coach or you are the coach of an elite youth athlete.
Yeah, when we came up with this consensus statement, we actually had every youth athlete in mind. So even if you're a high performance athlete or you are just a developing athlete who wants to improve like general physical performance, or like I mentioned, high performance athlete who wants to improve their approach to sports or physical preparation for their sport or manage their injury risk, there's obviously something for every one of you. So basically in this consensus statement, we go through things in stages or in various levels. Things will be from simple to complex exercises or drills. You have less chaotic drills to more chaotic drills, and also like from low intensity to higher intensity exercises or drills.
So we have a progression structure for each category.
Yes, definitely.
And I think, Charmaine, you also are quite clear that this is a guideline, right? This is not the only way.
Yeah, I think as with coaching, as with teaching, there's no one way, one fixed way to develop somebody. The famous saying, many roads lead to Rome. So this is just one way. You take it as a guideline. It is a summary of scientifically proven methods. But like I said, it's just one way. And there are so many ways that coaches can adopt these ways into their training to develop their youth athletes for performance, really.
Okay, and Quinn, maybe I'll have you say the final word, given that you're the senior here with 15 years. What's your last word for youth coaches out there?
I think they're doing a brilliant job out there, Les, and this document would help complement all the good work that they are doing out there. And we are here to support them, to build capacity and so on. And I think, as Shah mentioned and Yat mentioned earlier on, this is a really good resource if you're working with youth athletes out there to really bring out the best in them. So we'd like to compliment the youth athletes working hard every day out there, and we hope that this resource would be of good use and beneficial to them to complement the good work that they've done.
Okay, thanks, Quinn. So if you want to look at our consensus statement, please go to our website. We've put the full document there for your reading and study. Also look out for our infographics, which we have also shared on our social media. So Quinn, Shah, Hidayat, thanks for taking the time to share the good work that you all have been doing.
Thank you,
Les.
Les.
It's been a pleasure.
Okay, thank you everybody for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.